morning folks, and welcome back to Red Wharf Bay on Llandona Beach here with my tent. Had quite a good night's sleep actually last night. It wasn't too bad at all. The wind was meant to pick up a lot more than it did overnight. The wind prediction for now was actually meant to be 22 miles an hour, and as you can see, it's just not. I mean, it has picked up a little bit from yesterday, but it's not too bad. So what we're going to do is try and pack the tent up and get a move on down the coast before that does kick in, because it could come in a little bit later. Let's get on with it. Day 2 aches and pains. My hips starting to hurt a little bit. I've got to be honest, this isn't the best rucksack I own. It really isn't. It's actually sort of a ski instructor's rucksack, which is a bit weird. I use it because it's fully waterproof to an extent. It's quite handy if the weather's going to be a bit dicey. You don't have to swap your covers around, but the hip support on it is a bit medieval, to be honest. And also the backs of my heels are hurting a little bit too. This is the first time I've walked in like probably 4 years in anything different apart from Solomon Speedcross. I've swapped over to these new Solomon shoes that are a bit like socks, and they're a little bit harder on your feet, and I do really notice that walking along, but apart from that, not too bad, to be honest. Was the Boathouse Cafe back there, and it was very nice. Really good actually. Had a bacon sandwich and a couple of coffees, and yeah. And I managed to book onto a campsite as well while I was there, which is really handy. I didn't think there was any available. I actually had a call round a couple I tried earlier online, and there was no space left on the one I'm stopping at tonight, but I was sort of pleading that I was just me and my tiny one-man tent. And luckily I managed to get a spot a little bit further up the coast, about 16 miles away from here. So I also managed to negotiate a lower price as well, because a lot of these holiday parks are meant for families, you know, people with, you know, come with 5 people, big family tents, and actually like £35 for a night's not too bad, but when it's just you on your own, that's quite a lot of money. So I managed to negotiate it down to £15. Managing to get myself lost on a caravan site. It's because they've put a diversion in from the coastal path, which comes off through this site and out this very bloody big hill, but the signs are rather limited and a bit hard to spot too. I do hate it when they put in diversions but don't make them very clear. You know, there is the odd footpath sign, but the gap between them is a few hundred metres and around a few corners, so you've really got to try and figure it out. I've just realised I've stopped on this caravan site before, because there's a campsite a little further back. It's amazing how busy it is actually. I used to come on family holidays like this all the time, but I couldn't dream of it now. So the question is, which way was that sign pointing? Guessing up here. What's quite good about when I've decided to walk is during the day I've managed to sort of catch the tides quite well. So for instance now, the actual coastal footpath goes all the way around the back to the caravan sites, up the headland and round, but it turns out that it ends up just over there at the other end of this beach. So obviously the fastest thing to do is just walk straight across. I mean, it's not cutting off masses, but it's actually more in terms of the climbing, etc. It's probably going to save me 15-20 minutes, which when I'll be knackered at the end of the day, 15-20 minutes is quite a long time. Plus you get to walk across a beautiful beach like this one too. It is really handy tying this in. Just look how blue the water is too. It's amazing, isn't it? So one thing Anglesey's known for is this really crystal clear blue water. Beautiful place. There we go, that is the lifeboat station run by the RNLI. How mad is it the RNLI aren't a government funded thing? It's entirely a charity, relies on donations. Imagine what our coastlines would be like without the RNLI. It seems insane to me. I think that's the one thing I'd do if I ever became Prime Minister, because obviously that's what I'm planning on, is I'd definitely make things like that funded by the government, or at least have some government funding. Yeah, it's phenomenal, these charities keep on going, and they're funded by volunteers and charity work, fundraising. They do such an incredible job, the RNLI, and it's so worth supporting them. Just stopped back there for a bite to eat. I wasn't actually going to have lunch because I had quite a big breakfast, but walk down to a little beachside cafe and you can't resist. It's quite funny social distancing on these footpaths because they're really, really narrow, so you have to keep stepping to the side each time someone comes along. And I've just stopped for a few slightly older people coming along, and one of the blokes told me that the best beach in Anglesey is just further down this coastline, like round the next corner apparently. That's quite exciting. Best beach in Anglesey. I've been here quite a few times, haven't quite done this top section of coastline before, especially this next sort of 5-6 miles, so let's see what it's like. Best beach in Anglesey. Right, so this is the next beach along the coastline. It's only a small one, a few pebbles, a few rocks. I wouldn't say it's the best beach in Anglesey though, although he did say a little bit further along, so I don't know. This is the problem, I've got no distance. He didn't go, oh, it's like 3 beaches along. He just went a little bit further along, you'll find the best beach in Anglesey. I mean, the water is incredibly clear here. Even from here without the sun, you can see the sea floor. It's pretty amazing little beach. I've got a feeling the one he might be on about could be around the corner because it's a little bit bigger. We'll find out. This one coming up has got to be it. It's pristine. The water's blue, the sand is just stands, barely any stones at all. If you were trying to describe to an alien what a beach was, that would be it down there. God, it looks incredible. I don't normally go down to the beaches unless I have to, but I'm gonna go investigate this one because this looks beautiful. You never know, it might just be the most amazing beach on Anglesey. We'll find out. so nice to finally have my shoes and socks off and just walk around barefoot for a bit. I've got a couple of blisters from my shoes, which I'm not very impressed about, but there we go. This truly is such a beautiful beach. It's like being in the Caribbean somewhere. And it's just nearly white. And it's so, I would say it's so big, but it's not. It's just not full of people. You know, there's one family up there, there's a couple over there looking at me thinking I'm a complete lunatic talking to a camera. And that's it. But it's so beautiful. But yeah, actually it's quite a walk around from any car park, any distance. So you can see why people don't come out here. Look at that. This beach is called Treyeth Yaora. I've definitely pronounced that wrong, but my best interpretation of it. It's a tiny little beach nestled on the Anglesey coastline. And it is amazing. I'm so lucky that bloke actually, I had to stop and he told me about it. Because I've been walking past a lot of these beaches, simply not really paying too much attention to them. I mean, I'm walking past beaches all day long, but I'm so glad I looked out for this one. There you go, if you want to come to Anglesey and find the most amazing, the best, most beautiful beach, Treyeth Yaora is it. I'll try and link in on OS Maps where it is in the description, and maybe you'll have to come here yourself. It's a decent stretch out. It's probably sort of half an hour, 40 minutes from the nearest car park, which if you're a walker like me isn't too far. With a family, probably a bit further. God, it's just beautiful. How clear the water is as well. This is why I love Anglesey. There is genuinely so few places that I've been to on the planet that I like more than this. And it's in North Wales, it's in the UK. Hopefully you could see the lighthouse there in the shot, or the group of buildings at least, and that's what it is, a lighthouse. It's been a couple of hours since I shot that last clip, and it's been a rough couple of hours. A lot of up and down along this coastline, a lot of walking around massive bays as well. We're going to get down to this lighthouse, going to make a bit of a left turn, and then we've got around about a half-hour walk up to the campsite. I will be so pleased to be there tonight because the rain's coming in, it's getting windier by the second, and I am absolutely exhausted. So that lighthouse is a really good sign, but we are finally getting somewhere. There we go, so I'm in my tent for the night. Been down to the local village and grabbed some dinner. It was a really long day today. My feet are hurting quite a lot. Turned out to be 22 miles, which, it's a long way. Tomorrow I'm looking at doing close to sort of 13, 14, so obviously a bit less, which should be a bit better, and hopefully have a later start as well, have a lie-in, stop for some lunch, and try and chill out a bit more tomorrow's walk. Anyway, it's been a long day. We found an incredible beach in Anglesey, absolutely incredible, and I hope you enjoyed seeing it. Anyway, I will see you in 3 days time or tomorrow. See you soon.